Hi there friends, it's Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind Stamped AF. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I am coming at you with another fun card using the So Hoppy Together, and that is part of the Sale-A-Bration promotion going on. If you order $60, this is anywhere within Canada, so if you order $60 before taxes and shipping, you can choose this adorable little set as one of your rewards. So you can see there's a couple of cute designs there. If you are in the Winnipeg area, I do have a So Hoppy Together class on February 9th from 1 to 4. If you are curious about any of my classes, you can check out my schedule on my Facebook page. So we are working with an A2 size card. So just take a piece of Whisper White thick, 8.5 by 11, score it at 4 1/4, and cut at 5 1/2. And just burnish that fold with your bone folder. I am lacking humidity in my craft room, so everything seems to be curling kind of funny. So we need a card mat, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and I've just got a scrap here that I am going to cut with my stitched oval, which is on a magnetic sheet just out of my reach. So I'm going to cut that first before I do my stamping. So there we go, and I've said it before, I will say it a million times, if you only ever purchase one set of thinlits from Stampin' Up!, make sure it's the stitched shapes. You get ovals, circles, and squares, and they are fantastic. Okay, so we are using So Hoppy Together, and I've done a little bit of stamp surgery. I have cut the unicycle away from that frog because I find it's much more useful that way, and if I really want to use him, I can still pick it up and stamp it all together. But we are using this little guy. So we're just going to put him on there. This uses the new cling stamp mount, so you need to be very careful when you're taking these off. Always start on an edge and be very careful. We are stamping him in Memento, and I just want to get this part going because I'm finding that my Memento is taking a little bit to dry, and I don't want to smear him. So there we go. So I'll show you, when taking off your cling stamps, you want to just start on an edge and peel it off very carefully. We need a little scrap of shaded spruce for our sentiment. And we are going to use Hoppy for you. I just want to line that up straight. I found that if you put your stickers on the tiniest bit crooked, it's really hard to line it up, and this is a very small space to work with, so good. I'm going to do it one more time and see if I can get it higher up. Yeah, third time's a charm. That's all right. Okay, so again, peeling very carefully. If you peel it too fast and you're not cautious, you can rip the foam, and Stampin' Up! Will not replace that. I'm going to do a buffalo check background using Lemon Lime Twist. I know this is Granny Apple Green, but I want my background to be a little more subtle than that. Set him aside. I'm grabbing my Stamparatus. And because Buffalo Check is a foam mount stamp, you can take that off. Do is put a run of snail on the back of my paper. Because with a background stamp, you can't use your magnet to keep it in place. I usually line it up 2 down, 2 across, and then I take my stamp, put that in the corner, and up we go. Ink up your stamp. Now because the Buffalo Check is so big and there's such an obvious pattern, it can be hard to not get lines when you're inking it up, but it just adds to the appeal. There we go. I don't mind that little bit in there, but let's see if we can make it a little more uniform. This is the beauty of the stamparatas. If you find that there's one spot that you need to apply a little bit more pressure to, you can put it down and it's going to go right where it was the first time. So that is our background. We will set that aside. I don't use the Stampin' Up! Sponges to do my blending. I use the Ranger, and it would be this, and I use the little sponges and I dip it in my ink. However, I watched a video by Kathy Zilski and she was using one of these brushes. And my daughter had a whole set of these, but she gave them to her friend. So I found this at Dollarama, and all you do is go in there and it adds a nice little bit of ink without any harsh lines. And you can keep building it up. I just want a little bit of a green glow behind him. So this was $3 at Dollarama. I'm sure you could find them for less somewhere, but I wanted to test it out before I got a whole set. So check that out. And if you're skeptical like me, go to Dollarama and just get one and try it. And I just wipe off any excess ink, and so far have not found it to run into the next color. So you could leave it at that, but what I did was I used my watercolor pencils, Granny Apple Green, Lemon Lime Twist, and Garden Green. Actually, let's use Old Olive. I found the Garden Green was a little bit too green. This is my issue. I keep going back and thinking, now, one more thing. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Otherwise, I'm going to ruin it. Okay, so now it's time to assemble. Let's use our Tombow. Put some just on the outside. Hold that down for a moment. Set this down. When using the buffalo check, I like to make sure that it's in between. I don't want to have a big part of white there and then all green here. I like to have it where there's a bit of green bordering. Okay, now we are going, I had a little scrap of Lemon Lime Twist as a bow on another project, and I decided I didn't want it as a bow. So we're just going to grab some glue dots to adhere this down. You could wet this just a little bit with your spritzers just to get it to lay flat, but and it was a little on the low side. And I'll just use my tailored tag punch to banner that. Put it all the way in so you know where you're punching. Line it up in the middle, and there you go. We use some mini dimensionals for this. we go. And I like, once this is down, I always put one more glue dot just to keep that ribbon from moving, because you don't want your sentiment to be moving all over the place. Just pop that down. Still moving a little bit, but that's okay. Once we put our frog down, that should resolve. We'll use some mini dimensionals on this. Okay, whoops, this one's gonna need to move up or down. So place him there. We're just gonna use a couple of sequins. These are the adhesive backed sequins. You could use anything. Put one here. One over here just to draw our eye back over there, and maybe just one down there, and that's it. So this frog is definitely going to be one of the celebs, the clear-cut winners from Sale-A-Bration. So if this is a set that you want to get, I would not hesitate. I would order it right away. And if you live within Canada, you can place your order with me. And if you haven't hit that big subscribe button below, I would encourage you to do so. You'll catch a new video each and every week. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for joining me, friends. Bye.